Yeah.
I love those tongs, that's what.
Okay, we're live.
Shut down.
Scared the hell out of it.
I did the last time too.
Oh, I didn't even.
Yeah.
I just knew.
I was already up there, so I just went ahead and did
We're
it.
live.
Right.
Okay. We're going to call the meeting to order. So can we do the Pledge of Allegiance, please? I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Want to do the roll call? Yeah. Okay. Tony, can we get the roll call?
Yep, sorry.
That's okay.
Here.
McBride,
Here.
Beanie,
Here. Here, sorry.
Yep, here.
I can hear myself.
Foster,
Here.
Martin,
Here.
Hutchins.
Here.
Consent agenda. All items listed under the consent agenda are considered to be routine and non-controversial by the Holly Township Park Commission and will be approved by a one motion. There will be no separate discussion. If discussion is required, that item will be moved from the consent agenda and discussed separately immediately after the consent agenda in its normal sequence on the regular agenda. So we have the agenda and the minutes for November. Is there any issues with it?
Hopefully no more typos in the minutes.
Typos?
Last time I made a
Oh,
typo, I fixed it. but-
did anybody have any problems with the minutes? Take that as a no.
I motion that we just accept this.
Okay.
Support.
Nope, go ahead, Joe.
Support.
Support.
That's a second.
Okay, so what do we do?
All in favor?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Motion passes. Bills for payment after November meeting, December, January, November meeting, December, January. Any issues with the bills? Motion to pass.
I motion to accept the bills.
Second.
I'll support.
Okay.
All right, that requires a voice vote, so. Hutchins,
Yes.
Martin,
Yes.
Foster,
Yes.
Miskovich,
Yes.
Beanie,
Yes.
McBride,
Yes.
Rubel.
Yes.
Financial statement. I had one issue with the financial statement. The director's salary, July, November 21, it says 23,334, and the budget was 55,860. Is that correct?
I believe. Should be. I'll have to check it.
Well, the reason I'm
Oh,
asking,
'cause there's more, no, yeah, there's a whole month extra.
well, shouldn't it, this is for 6 months, so shouldn't the budget amount
No,
be?
it isn't for 6 months, it's for 5 months.
Okay, but for 5 months, is it still 55? Isn't that your full salary?
That's the budget is 55. So far, what's been paid is 23,334.75.
Okay, thank you. That makes more sense then, okay. Okay, that was the only thing I had a question on.
I motion that we accept the financial statement.
Support from anybody?
I'll support that.
Tony, can we get a,
You don't need one for
don't
it.
we, okay.
You're not spending money.
Okay. Public comment. Members of the public can address the board once recognized by the chairperson.
You still have to do a vote on it, though.
Do what?
Don't we still have to do a vote?
Yeah, you still have to
Yeah,
say
you
all
have
in
to still
favor.
got to do a vote on,
Oh, okay.
on approval of it.
Sorry.
All in favor.
Oh, all in favor? Sorry.
Aye.
And then you would say opposed. and then you
Oh,
don't.
okay. Opposed? Passes. Okay, so we'll move on to public comment. Members of the public can address the board once recognized by the chairperson. For items on the agenda only, comments are limited to a maximum of 4 minutes. The board may extend this time by up to an additional 4 minutes by a majority vote. Prior to addressing the board, members of the public shall clearly state their name and address for the record. Any public comment at this point? John Love?
Well, it says only items on the agenda, but you're gonna be talking about the golf course later.
Just
So
golf.
we'll talk about that.
That's fine. Is that fine? I mean, Tony?
Well, I'll save that part for then.
Okay.
And you got another one at the end. I mean, we can talk all week. Well, one thing I'm interested in is what the goals are for this year. And I'd like to see that defined in some clear way. And some of the things I'd like to see worked on is improving the communication of these assets that we have in the parks. And one thing I'm thinking of as an example is to talk to the library about having a board or a section that has some information about the park facilities that are here, so that people going there can learn what's available. I was at the library. I got a book. It's on box turtles. And in here, I was reading about it, and I'm worried about my friends there. They're supposed to hibernate, but these guys aren't hibernating. The other thing is, this is about the trail anyway, the golf courses. You know, that one big turtle comes out and lays her eggs out there somewhere. I don't know how this is gonna affect the turtle. And I'd really like to even rename the moose trail, because there's no moose around here. The turtle trail and the turtle town. We have a town for them to live in out there that our caretaker takes care of. So it's, I'd like to expand the knowledge of this asset and build on that. And I don't know what we can do for that. The other one is a snow run. We got the hill, but it's unsafe at any speed. So if we put some kind of a fence or something on either side, so that people could go down it and use that asset, I think it would be a great attraction for the snow season, instead of coming out and running around the parking lots. So those are kind of the items of overview that I'm concerned with. And I have some more items that we can talk about, but goals, expansion of knowledge. That nature center is really a great asset, and I make contributions occasionally when I work there. But it's, people don't know about it. I didn't know about it until I made the mistake going in. And even more information on the bulletin out there about what's available, so that you know, it's kind of cold to be working your phone to try and figure out what's here. It's a lot easier to, instead of going, when you try to look it up on the phone, you know, it's got all these other things, you gotta do this and that, but if you have a sheet that's available, it's easy to read. And I have the mailbox done, but it's kind of hard to put it up in this weather. So, I mean, it's not a mailbox, it's an information box, so that people can find out. And unless, we're gonna talk about the golf course, so we some of the discussion to that part of it. Happy New Year.
Happy New
Thank
Year.
you.
Thank you.
You
It's
too.
all coming up rain. Spring. Okay.
Anybody else? We'll move on to the audit presentation.
Hey, good evening, everybody. I'm A.J. Gamble from Lewis and Roth CPAs, and I came out this December to fund the audit on the Parks and Rec, worked with Tony again this year. So this is our third or fourth year doing this audit for you guys, and as always, Tony did a great job of helping out, finding all the information you need to complete this audit. And I just want to do a little presentation and take questions at the and how the results of the audit went. And by doing that, on your guys' audit report, at the very front, it should have a management discussion and analysis page, and we'll start at the very top of that and kind of go through the MD&A and kind of give you guys an overview of that. So at the top of the page, you'll see the financial highlights, and we'll skip that for a moment because the financial highlights are in the summary contained further back in this analysis. But so we'll go on to the reporting for organization as a whole, and this kind of down here explains the difference between your government-wide and your fund-level financial statements. There's two sets of financials that are reported for governmental entities, and if you're for governmental-wide, that's where you're going to get your capital assets that are going to be capitalized. So your pole barn, your building, and now the lawnmower are sitting on there as your capital assets, and then you have the debt on the lawnmower as well. And so those debt and fixed asset type items only show up on your government-wide financial statements, which uses the statement of net position and statement of activities, which is a little different than your fund level, where you will not see those items and they're directly expensed as incurred. So it's kind of two sets of books going on at the same time. And as Tony pointed out, in the one section of the statement of net position, it does say assist member libraries in there. And that is unfortunately only in the copy we provided to the board. The copy we submitted to the state, but this was caught in our review process and we corrected it, and reprocessing the statements at the same time that we submitted that, and we forgot to reprocess the financial statements, so that error is sitting in there, but we'll submit a copy to Tony with the corrected so you guys can get an update on your website as well. And going to the second page, that's just kind of more just fund level, governmental level analysis, kind of explains all the different potential aspects you guys have going into that as well. So we'll go to the third page here, which has your summary of your net position, and this kind of has your financial figures for the year. And so this is, and this could be your government-wide level, as I mentioned, which will have your capital assets on your books. And for your other assets, that simply consists of your cash, and in this case, you have like $25 in prepaid expenditures. You had an overpayment to Scribble Marketing, so that vendor's like a vendor credit, so we reclass that from your AP side to your prepays, and then the rest, 82,703, is cash for your other assets. And capital assets will be your net capital assets, which is your change from the prior year. You purchased the lawnmower for $9,300 with your, and then it was reduced by, we had construction and progress for prior year for that parkour course you guys were designing. We capitalized the first $21,000 in expenditures you guys had as a construction progress type improvements, since you guys are going forward with the course. We removed that in the current year, kind of disposed of it, so that was lowered your capital asset again, and then it's also lowered $6,000 more by your current year depreciation. On your liability side, all you got sitting in there is that is your lawnmower payable at the end of the 6/30, and your net investment in capital assets again is that's your capital asset net amount less your obligation on the payment, and the rest of your funds is unrestricted at $82,000 on the governmental level. Go to the next page. Look at your. Sorry, page 6. Roman numeral 6. Will be your kind of just break down your revenue and expenditures for the year. Revenue charges for the service, obviously with COVID and everything going on, you guys' charges for services are down about $9,000 this year from $11,000 to approximately $2,500, $3,000. And capital grants for the year, this is for the $50,000 from the parkour course. Since you guys had expenditures over 2 years, the revenue is recognized as the expenditures were incurred. So you had $21,000 last year, and $28,000 the remaining expenditures recognized this year. And you had a slight increase in your property tax collections with $6,000 increase there, and a slight decrease of $2,000 in your interest and revenue collections. And on the expenditure side, you had about an approximate $50,000 increase in your expenditures for the year. And obviously with the parkour course, $28,000, $7,000 of that costs going up, little payroll increases and smaller things like that are increasing your expenditure side. And Tony did mention the disc golf Frisbee course coming in, and we did look at that, and we determined that it's not really a capital asset, kind of just all smaller items with the Frisbees and stuff, nothing you really have to throw on your books or maintain, so all those things will be expensed as incurred on your guys' books. And right down here at the budget again. So we'll just have a budget to actual comparison that you'll actually see on the back of your financials as well, but this kind of breaks down what actually happened. And the general fund revenue was $191,000, as said, and That is more than your guys' final budget estimate of $180,000. The variance was $10,000 or 6%, and that's just pretty much you guys got more property taxes than anticipated, so it's a good thing. And actual expenditures, the general fund was $187,000, which was slightly more than the final budget estimate of $180,000 by $6,700 or 4%. And the variance is primarily due to payroll taxes, and operating expenditures being a little higher than you guys had budgeted for. And there is no material budget violations report. When you submit your audit report to the state, we're required to say you guys in compliance with the budget, budgeting acts, and you guys had no issues there, no significant variances. Just they're very minor. They're just kind of reported here in your MD&A. And then we'll go to Roman numeral for page 7 here. And this is where it kind of further breaks down your capital assets. There's the $21,000 going away from the construction in progress, as I mentioned. And building improvements will be netted with depreciation for the current use of your barn and building. And machinery and equipment will consist of a net amount of your lawnmower purchased from this year. And looking at the debt, again, that's your lawnmower balance. And looking at the bottom here, we have your revenue and expenditure noted that you guys have $166,000 in revenue and expense budgeted, and your original budget for the next year. And then I guess that's it for your MD&A there. I'm just kind of more here for now to take questions. I just want to say, and I guess we do have a couple internal control issues to say. While you guys did have a clean audit opinion, you do have the reoccurring incompatible duties, segregation of incompatible duties, and due to just Tony kind of being one man staff, just so low. It's a typical thing of smaller governmental entities that we have to just kind of report, and again, when they ask for the findings on the audit report, they straight up say you have findings other than segregation of incompatible duties. So it's kind of, they're really concerned about that thing. It's just kind of a reoccurring
That
thing.
was last year also?
What's that?
That was on there last year also?
Yes, that was.
I believe it's also on like every township, almost every township in.
Pretty much.
Is there anything that some of the other townships do to to help alleviate that, or?
The only thing you could do is like probably hire like a CPA firm or something like that. I know like County Library, they got out of it recently, but they hired Joyce King and Fenton, to do the books for them or someone like that. You just can always just have like a side contracted person, someone, to just have an extra internal control procedure in there, or someone has the knowledge of GAAP, really knows the accounting side of things. And
So it'd have to be somebody that actually, accountant or something like that
yeah, someone with an accounting type
background?
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And so with that, there was another finding that's a first time finding. We had an issue, we didn't have this one last year, and it's just kind of based on a dollar amount. It's called material misstatement, which is not an issue. It's just so we have to, based on the journal entries we have to make, and it really is just due to a beginning balance journal entry from a couple of years ago that we have to make every year. And I'll work with Tony on how to make that in her system. It's just beginning fund balance and APs, kind of, when we look at the books the first time, we have to reverse the entries from the prior years because the audit entries don't get posted to the books, and so this year that amount became significant. But so I'll work with Tony again to hope we can have her show how to make the journal entries. We can't, I wish we could do it ourselves, but we can't maintain independence, but I can work closely with her, even if we can come out for a day for an hour and just help her.
So this is an issue that was actually done prior years and it's finally coming and showing up now?
Correct, yes.
Okay.
It's because it's based on a materiality amount, like say we can't give you that number exactly, but once you reach over that number, we have to report a material misstatement. And it's, I forget the exact amount, like for the journal entry, like $4,600 in AP from like 2017. That we figured out, we knew what all those amounts were in past years, but you have to reclass those through your retained earnings, so your beginning fund balance is correct. And really your only concern with that is for your budgeting, is to make sure you want all your beginning numbers to be good, because if we have to make a big adjustment, it could potentially affect your budget.
Okay.
I did have a question and it's just so where I could find the information if someone were to ask. So we had from an increase in equipment purchases from like $2,618 to $32,000. What do you get paperwork on that shows what? I mean,
What page are you on?
And I'm sorry, that would be on page 14, or 14. Okay, see right, this line right here. I'm just wondering what information you base that off of.
So I believe that's gonna be your, design of your parkour course. A lot of those fees from, to road professional services are in there. And we-
Okay, so, but, okay, because when I'm, as you could tell, someone from the public coming forward and say, well, what equipment did you buy? So,
Right.
okay, so it's
yeah,
a category,
yeah, so I
okay.
guess, yeah, so that big increase, yes.
Yeah, because that would be,
28,000
right.
recognized in there.
So if I were to explain it to somebody, it's like, well, in that category, they put in fees for, like you said, the design and stuff like that. Okay,
Correct.
So-
that's what I,
So even though it's a fee, it goes into the equipment?
Correct, it's kind of just the account classification that goes in for those fees, because we were gonna capitalize that as an equipment asset type until you guys
Okay.
decided it.
Okay. And I guess the other question would be, what would be the financing our lawnmower as compared to, I mean, not that we want to go haywire in spending our funds balance, but what would be the advantages of us leasing instead of just outright buying it?
I guess that would be up to the board, like, I guess, like, looking at your guys' lawnmower, at least right now, I think it was like 0% interest for a while, like, you can't.
Well, that's
you
exactly,
can't beat
okay,
that.
okay, all right.
That,
That's exactly, okay, that's kind of what I was wondering, where, that right there, right
If
there.
you have an
Okay.
interest rate and you guys can't afford it, I'd recommend buying it.
Right,
instead of paying
okay.
interest, but.
Yeah, that's what I want to hear, is if it was an interest rate thing or a warranty or something that made it worth it, well, right
Yes,
there, so, yeah.
It seemed like
All
a
right,
deal you guys
thank you.
Are there any other questions we have for?
Oh, I did have one. So when you're saying some of the issues with the question, you're saying you should have someone of an accounting background. So in other words, having the chair of the board having any more involvement in it, unless he had some particular accounting ability that really wouldn't meet anything. Okay.
Background, yeah.
So, because that would be the first thing I could see saying to us, it's like, well, why doesn't one of the board members look over? Well, we don't have the expertise, it's.
Right, yeah, that's
okay.
one of the issues that a lot of these smaller organizations,
Okay.
we try to just help as much as we can and kind of document these findings to protect
Okay.
both you and us, and, obviously don't expect Tony does everything around you guys, you don't expect her to obviously have a deep CPA background and have all that training, and
Right.
some of this accounting for government is very complex to
Mhm.
what you guys are doing now, really.
Well, like that, you would have me stumped with the equipment one. I would have never thought to put any, like that, wouldn't
Yeah,
have thought to
again,
put
these
anything
findings
under
are
that.
getting, when there's a big no and goes to the state, so the state's not even questioning or looking at anything. So.
Anybody else have anything? Okay, thank you.
Good job, Tony. Thank you.
So we're going to go on to public comment on the disc golf course.
Don't we have to accept the?
Oh, do we have to?
It's on the agenda.
Okay. Yeah,
No,
keep
I'm
me
talking
honest.
to
I
you.
know, just keep me honest, because
No, you're
I
good.
appreciate
So
it.
this is a
No.
chance for anybody who would like to stand up and comment on the disc golf course if you need it for our opponent.
Well, I'm sorry.
We need public comment on the disc golf course as part of grant points.
Oh, okay, cool.
All grants are graded on points, and so, sure, you do. Yeah, you gotta go up there.
Oh, do you want to?
We are.
No, we're going to talk about this. We're on.
Tony was telling us about possibility of getting a grant to help with installing the T-pads and finishing, and that would be a great help. There's ways we could raise the funds without that, but with the help of that, it is only going to be better and quicker and, nicer. 2 different T-pads on every hole is a lot of work all at once, so the more help like that financially, the better. So if it could happen, that'd be a great help to us and to the community.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anybody else would like to make a comment? John?
Well, I got the map there, I need to update it.
Oh, you know what, I didn't put a button up there. Work for myself.
Okay.
I was just thinking it was the mask that would make him familiar.
Anyway, here's the map, and I'm just wondering what the impact is gonna be on the Turtle using that to go to, I don't know where she comes from.
It doesn't say, the course does not interfere with the turtle in any way, shape, or form.
Okay, because I want Holly to have a nice home out of the turtle. Yeah, I haven't been out to see how it looks, but I'm just curious about how it's affected the nature of the trails. And I don't know what costs are involved from the contributions on the part of the park. Money. So that's what my concern is.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any more comments? Okay, we'll keep moving on. We're gonna go on to old business, the disc golf agreement. Tony, I guess you want to start this?
Yeah, so, this golf agreement, I just wanted to, introduce these two guys in particular. Paul's the chair of the, you're the president of the.
President, okay.
Of the Town Flyers. But these are the two guys that have spent their blood, sweat, and tears with me out there in the course, and so I need you guys some shadow boxes, so as a way of thanking you for,
Oh, thank you very much.
all the work you guys put out there.
You guys did a good job, great job out there.
I'd
Lot
like to
of work.
thank you also
Thank
for all your volunteer work.
I'm sorry, we appreciate you guys, you know, letting us be on your beautiful property, and, we appreciate, everything, the city, the board, helping.
You know, I really appreciate all three of you, but you two in particular have been the blood, sweat, and tears of what's happened out there so far, so. I have one like yours now, so.
Well, I love it, it's
But,
beautiful. I
you know.
appreciate it very much. Yeah, like, when we wanted to do it, we can both do it, we just don't have the capability without, like, all the support of our community that we are involved with every weekend. So, like, it's been pretty awesome. But we just recently had, my boss, but it was like my buddy too. I took him out there and we walked the course, and he liked it a lot. He plays with the best player in the world, like 100 times a year. Like, he designs courses with him. He loved it. So he saw where we were with, we need to do clearing on 7, 8, 9, 10, and pretty much 11, that little area there to get it to where we're gonna be finalized T-pad area.
Right.
So he's gonna donate to us the rental equipment. He's gonna get us a mini excavator, they call it. It's small, and it has a claw and a bunch of stuff to smooth out the places that we have that are rough, to finish the holes that aren't finished by clearing the stuff on them and getting rid of all the piles of brush, and then grading the T-pad areas so that when we build the frames for a T-pad pouring day, that they'll be all ready. So he's gonna do that, and yeah, and the first thing that we're gonna do, so he's gonna rent it for the week. I believe it's in the very beginning of March. They have a big tournament, and they're coming back on March 6th. He's gonna rent it for the week, and then first thing they're gonna do is to fix the creek and the culvert. We have the culvert pipes that were donated to us, the big black ones.
Yeah.
He's gonna go out there, fix that first, so that you can have some kind of a heavy equipment access.
Okay,
there.
great.
So on that side, you'll have a permanent culvert with possibility, to drive whatever you need to go there, mowers, truck, whatever you need to.
Cool.
So
Oh,
That's-
excellent.
That's great.
You guys are amazing. Thank you.
that's basically where we're at with that, and, but yeah. We hope you guys are okay with
Yep.
everything we've done, and
No, you guys did a wonderful job. For the agreement that we're talking about, it's to protect both of us. I know there has been some, misgivings that we're trying to, tie you guys up or anything like that.
No, once
Okay.
you've read it, it's great.
Okay, cool, okay.
Yeah.
So I'm glad to hear that. So I just wanted to make sure you guys understood where, just where we're coming from. It's basically so everybody understands what's going on, and there's no, hey, we said that or you said that. So this way it's all written down and we all know what we're agreeing to. So if you want to, oh, go ahead.
No, I'm sorry.
Oh, no.
Once we looked at it, we were definitely didn't not think, I think we misunderstood what you were concerned about.
Okay.
And, but we read it and everything is great, actually, and we love the fact that we can help alleviate the cost of our, like, we wanna run a two-course big tournament during summer.
Okay.
And it really is all really good.
Okay, good. Glad to hear that. So should we go ahead and start going through the, see if clear
Yeah.
up any things that we would need to clear up with the
Yep.
agreement?
Yep, sure.
Okay. Do you want me to read it or you want to read it?
I can do it if you want. I mean, so basically, I would say that you guys probably just need to go line by line.
Yeah.
Decide, you know.
It's this one.
Number one says pay a $5 player fee to Holly Township Parks or help the Holly Township Parks run the tournament. Would be their expense for.
Right. What do you guys prefer, I guess?
I think we prefer to help.
To help?
Yeah.
I mean, we
No,
could leave
because
it either way so at a later date if you didn't want, you know.
Well, it'd probably be better if we just go with one or the other. You know, you put an or in there and it's,
Okay.
so I mean, if their preference, I mean, I don't have a preference. I don't know if anybody on the board does.
Well, you may get to where we run 2 or 3 together and you don't need us and would rather have us, you know, pay. I don't know.
Yeah.
But we can always
Good
come back
point,
and
good
amend that
point.
at that point then, you know. At least this way we have it, which way we're leaning at this point, and we can come back to it and change it at that point if we want to. I mean, with your input too, you know what I mean?
Sounds great.
Okay, so can I get a motion that we just change this so it's help Holly Township run a tournament?
Sure, I'll go ahead and make a motion to make number 1 now say Holly Township, to help Holly Township Park run a tournament.
I'll
And
second
it does
that.
say a tournament.
Yeah, that is a tournament, right? Just a single one? I mean, I don't know if we should specify just a single tournament.
Well, so if they're running 5 tournaments, then they would have to help us run 5 tournaments or something.
Oh, so
Kind of way
you're
it
saying
would
it's
go.
a,
Yeah, that's why
Oh,
I had
tip
it.
for.
That's
for
why I
pro,
had the
yeah.
$5 option in case they didn't want to do
Right.
that or whatever.
so
Right.
you're thinking then if they're run 3 tournaments, that we're gonna have 3 tournaments?
Whatever, yeah, maybe, or,
I think
Also,
we
I'll
probably
just
would end
wait
up
here.
running one big one where we would help with one.
Right.
And then the possibility of, if you guys might not even be interested in running another one, so we would just pay the $5 on the second or third one if we did that in the season.
See, that's what he's
Okay.
trying to say.
Yeah,
I think
Sean.
that,
Kind of
that
agree
might
with
give
what
us
he's
more
saying here.
flexibility too, so we're not.
Wait,
Just, just for the simple fact that this mic is really, really loud.
Yeah, it sounds good.
But, you know, in this day and age, the times we're living in with Omicron and everything else, who knows if they can get the help to help us run a tournament. So the option being there of the $5 or helping, I think is a more feasible option at this point instead of tying, you know, them down to only one
That's true.
option.
Okay.
Okay.
It's always good, it's always good to have a backup plan.
Right,
Exactly.
That's
Yep.
true.
And we're comfortable with either one. so-
Okay,
Yeah.
I guess we can stick with that then.
So
if
should I
everybody's okay.
rescind the
Yeah, I guess so.
motion?
Sounds
Okay,
like-
I'd like to rescind the motion. Not change anything at all on the verbiage of number 1. Do I have support on rescinding?
number 2, clean up any trash or debris on the course going to the tournament. Failure to clean up will be billed at a rate of $25 per hour. The cleanup bill shall be paid in full before any future tournaments can be booked. And this is basically, we know you're not gonna leave a mess, but it's just us framing this for when we go out and perhaps rent it to someone else.
Right.
That's why I
Yeah,
put it
if
there.
there's an issue, call me.
Yeah, no.
We'll make sure it's up anyway. But we really don't mess with people that I think are gonna be messy, so.
Right. No, we're good with that.
Number 3, repair of any damages to property resulting from the tournament will be billed at a rate of $50 per hour. Repair shall be paid in full before, same thing. It's not really addressing them as
Right.
much as it is putting it in place so that we have it for future people. So, because I know they're not gonna damage, you know,
Yeah.
they're not gonna let anyone damage the course if they kill themselves.
Right.
No.
Yeah, exactly.
You know,
Some, inevitably, I think somebody will probably damage the basket. It won't be us, it'll be somebody at night or strangers
Right.
or
Right.
kids
Yep.
or something, but, and then we'll probably get the parts and fix it.
Okay.
All right, number 4, provide at least 1 month's or 90 days, so you have to pick one or the other, advance notice for booking of a tournament.
What would you suggest, Tony?
I mean, I think with a month's notice, we can get it out there, so that's why I had originally suggested that. These guys plan their tournaments way in advance,
Right.
so, I don't see that as a problem.
Is that going to cause us any issues, like if we have to determine that coming to a board meeting or anything?
Well, I would hope that you will allow me to
Yeah, I would think.
administer it as the administrator.
Okay, that's
Yeah, I
fine.
would think that
Yeah.
would
I just
be
wanted to make sure, I didn't know how this was going to work.
I go with the month.
We can check schedule and then ask if that date's available. And then-
Right.
Okay.
Okay.
The only
How-
time we wouldn't, I'm sorry, the only time we wouldn't have one super in advance is I think the first one. So once the pads are in and we have a big one, that one probably won't be like a year.
Right.
Right,
Right,
yeah.
right.
Right, because you don't know when you're going to have everything all
Right.
set and ready to go.
Okay.
Yeah, that makes
So
sense.
generally, how far in advance are your tournaments?
We usually do the scheduling in December
For the year.
following year.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Perfect, perfect.
Right. There's nothing that says they have to do it a month in advance. They
No.
can do it in December,
So-
Right. Well, that would be, as soon as you can let us know, the better, but yeah, a month.
So we don't need to make a motion because we had the 90 and highlight.
Right,
Okay.
yeah.
All right.
Number 5 said provide the parks with a contact person and phone number. I mean,
Yeah, I mean.
I think it's more like a point of contact, so like when they throw a tournament, we know who, just in case something comes up, that's all it,
So that
Yeah.
makes sense.
Yeah.
yeah.
Just in case if there's ever.
Have a representative come before the board once per year to give a report.
And it's just basically, my thought on that was just so we could put a face with, and, I'm sure you want to see your group expand, so somewhere down the line, there might be someone else doing what you guys are doing now, and you guys take a back seat, so, that's just the general idea behind that. It was, kind of more to say hello, so.
If you guys are good with it, I don't know how the board feels about it. I mean, I don't know what's everybody else's input on this.
I think it's a great idea. I mean, what if they want to, maybe make a change to a hole or,
Right, yeah.
something like that later on down the line. Maybe they play this year and they go, hey, you know what? Maybe that hole would be better over there.
Mhm.
And
That's true.
and of course, we don't need to hear their financial reports,
No.
obviously, but hearing maybe in conjunction with the board and them, maybe we can plan future events together through that one person, so just an idea.
Is that okay with you? Okay, we'll keep that in there then.
All right. Under Holly Township Park agrees to, 1, post in advance the course will be closed for use by the general public during the tournament. 2, have,
Can we go, how much in advance are we going to let them know?
I mean, I would think that if we have a month's notice, we're gonna start putting it out there a month ahead of time that,
Okay.
on this date.
So we're going to give them a month's notice that we're going to be running a tournament. Is that what we're
The
saying?
general public?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we'll
okay.
start putting it out on Facebook.
Can we
and
put
posting
something that
signs
we're
and
going to
stuff.
let the public know then?
It does say the general public.
It does say that.
Yeah, it's,
The general-
Doesn't say when we're going to do that. So if we're going to do one.
What the, oh.
So if we're going to say, we're going to throw a tournament on, we should say we're going to let everybody know a month ahead of schedule or something, just so, or let them know that we're going to be doing it a month ahead, just, you know what I'm saying?
Just
Because
put
we
it
could
on
let
the-
them go know the next day, and I don't think that'd be really fair to them, do you?
So in other words, you're suggesting just amend it to say post 30 days in advance that the course.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. Do we need to?
Otherwise, it's just open-ended.
The park isn't closed,
No,
No,
just
no,
the
no.
course.
Just the course.
so that whole section of the park is
Just
No,
the
with-
course.
Just the course.
Just the
Just-
course.
Walking trails.
There's still the trails, because none of their holes will be
So
on
do
the
we need,
trails, so.
do we need to make a motion for the 30 days in there, or we just
I
put it?
think that we can make a motion at the end if everybody.
Just with all the
agrees to that.
changes.
That's fine, that's
Sounds
fine.
good.
All right.
Yep.
2, have the course cleaned and prepared for use with no repairs needed. Walk through the course should be done by both parties on the Thursday or Friday prior to the tournament on the Monday after. That way,
I'm down with that one. That one's gonna be tough, but I'm down with it. If you, like, it's just.
who knows? I mean,
Yeah.
like,
We can always come back if it turns out it's not working out, we can always
Right.
amend it.
Typically Thursday or Friday night, we're in a room printing out all the stuff
Well,
for the
we could,
players.
okay, so we
So
could do
like,
it.
it's nice, it would be like.
How-
That's
Friday
what you
week.
say, we'll do a walkthrough the week before
Yeah.
and the week after,
That's-
instead of.
Yeah,
having
yeah.
Yeah, that's
that
fine.
would be-
This is
Yeah,
so
that way you're
like,
not nailing it down to.
Those, it's almost like, it's just, you know, the ramp up is a
Yeah,
lot of work.
I was planning on parties, okay, so it'll be a week prior and a week
After.
Yeah.
Okay. Number 3, upon request and with timely information provided by the Flint Town Flyers, Holly Township Parks will advertise the tournament on their Facebook and or website.
Are we gonna just do both, no matter what, or
Yeah,
can we remove the or then?
yeah. Sure.
You guys don't have a problem with that, right?
Do we advertise your stuff, you did, Chris?
No, that's, I mean.
Can we add on-site? Why wouldn't we advertise either on a sign, whatever we're gonna plan for the
Well,
front?
because if we have an event happening at the same time as them, I don't wanna guarantee them that I'm gonna advertise on the sign.
Okay,
You know what I'm saying?
right, but there is a possibility to at least put flyers up at the nature center or
Oh, yeah,
somewhere. On-site, I think would be.
Yeah, that's a good
as well.
idea.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, so and on site.
The sign may be a good warning for people that the park has something going on that day.
Right, it's just
Yeah,
gonna
yeah.
depend on if we have something.
Special event
Yeah,
sign, yeah,
our
yeah.
events are gonna take priority, so.
Yeah.
Okay, number 4, all funds raised on the disc course shall be spent on the course.
Can't we kind of do like a percentage on this instead of, I mean, if we make a good amount, this should make us a good amount of money. And say we have an overflow and we need a new tractor tire or a new whatever, can't we do like a percentage, like say 75% goes into just the course and maybe 25% into an emergency fund, or break it up a little bit instead of putting it all in one fund?
Well, I kind of think that we should just not specify all of it, any of it really going to specifically to the disc golf, because once we get the course and stuff set up, it should be very low
Low
maintenance,
in-
any kind of money going into it. So if we're saying it's gotta go back in here, then we're gonna be trying to
Find ways to
find
put
ways
it
to
back
spend the money at some
into
point.
it. Yeah,
And
that's why I'm
we-
saying use a percentage.
Do
you
we
know.
have it in here, basically, we are responsible for maintaining, I think we have it already in there, like, if there's damage done to it, we're gonna fix it unless it's on the tournament.
But that would be normal.
No, but I'm just saying
Yeah.
that would be, so, I don't,
I mean,
I-
obviously, whatever
I don't-
money we have in the beginning is gonna go into the course.
Right.
right,
Yeah.
right,
And I
so,
think what Donna's saying is later on, we may
right,
wanna run a tournament to buy a, you know.
New flags.
golf
Flag,
course
yeah,
or
right,
exactly.
right, I see,
something.
yeah.
Exactly. And then if it's all in one account, then you're gonna have to get everybody's permission to spend so much money here and so
Right.
much money there. If
So I
we
would
can-
just think it just should go to, yeah, I think we need it. Oh, what does everybody else think? Do we keep it in, or, I mean, I want to get the opinions from everybody, and
I think we should take it out. I think there should be some sort of emergency fund just for the disc golf course. But other than that, 'cause there shouldn't be that much.
just
how much-
going into
Once
one
it's built,
account.
I
there's
guess
not-
we'll-
asking you guys, how much maintenance would you expect us to pay if there's any issues that come up with the course itself?
I think just the regular maintenance would just be like maybe mowing 2 spots.
Okay, so there really should be low, there really shouldn't be a lot of expenses
Yeah,
associated with it.
branches maybe, you know.
Just
something
normal-
starts breaking down, fix it.
Would it be, I don't want to ask Tony this, would this be like comparable to maintaining the trails that we currently have?
Well, it's gonna obviously be a little bit more work. but-
Right.
Yeah, yeah.
Your garbage cans maybe, like having to have somebody empty. your
Yeah,
garbage
I
cans.
mean, obviously, you know, I mean, we're gonna talk about that in
And
the next thing,
eventually-
but, yeah, we're gonna have to empty garbage cans once or twice a week, probably on it. You know, but I don't foresee, I mean, there's things that I foresee us purchasing to help make it easier for us to maintain the course,
Right.
We
but,
talked about different pads at some point in the future, right? More permanent
I-
ones, not the.
oh, we're already talking about putting the permanent pads in right now.
Right, right.
So, I think we're trying to skip over that and go right to.
I guess my thought would be on that, is, if we dump the money into it, will we be at a point, and maybe these gentlemen could, say if they have seen this happen, that there's so little maintenance on it. If we kept dumping that, we would have this large fund that can only be spent on that, and thus we're kind of like, okay, we got the money, but we can't spend it because we tied our hands.
So perhaps could we add the verbiage until the time that the course is self-sufficient or the course is complete, or some kind of verbiage like that?
Well, this is kind of an agreement with
Them,
us and
yeah,
them.
it's a-
So this is more internal, I think, than,
Right.
Yeah.
I
Take
mean,
it out, but I just.
I mean, we can discuss that on
See how
a,
things go.
yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, do
This
you,
is money for it, of course, or, as far, we're gonna be installing it to the point where it's like ready. Right, we're gonna do the T-pads, hopefully we're all gonna get all the signs in, everything's gonna be done. And then, like, as far as what you have to pay for after that, like, if you wanna make money, are you gonna have a booth with somebody sitting in it every day, like by the hill? Cause that's what it would take to like get somebody to stop there every time,
yeah.
you know, or up by the road, or, now if you're gonna do a donation thing on a pole, you're still gonna get your donations. I don't think people are not gonna pay, but it's not gonna be as, watched, and there's still gonna be people that will come, like, maybe just check it out for the first time. We're not gonna put a $5
Right.
in there or something, but most disc golfers that come all the time will probably, I think it'd be better if they had to come into your nature center, and at Hudson Mills, which is a metro park,
Yeah,
they have to go in there and buy,
the wristband.
yeah, a cheap, like a concert, or like.
Yeah,
a
we've already,
club
we're
wristband.
ordering them.
But they're like just the kind like you go to a show, so they change the color every month or something, or to where, and they come in and they pay $2 or $3 for the wristband, and they have to come in, and it's, you know, I'm sure people can't play there when there's not somebody in the office. You know, I
Right.
don't know how it works out to make sure that they pay, but.
I don't know how we would.
Yeah,
make
they
sure
don't
people have
enforce it.
wristbands even for that
Right,
matter.
well,
But our
you
hope
see
is
them,
to,
yeah, well, they have to have them display, like, when we play at the place, they have a guy, and if they see it without it, then they would say something to you, you know? But in general, people are gonna pay. I don't know if it'll be a surplus of a lot of money, depending on the popularity, and then the nicer it is, and then is there, you know, like garbage cans, bathrooms, T-pads. T-pads are huge.
right.
Right now, we have a course in Davison that everybody likes a lot, and it has rubber T-pads, and everybody plays it and likes it, but it's like the outcast one because it doesn't have permanent T-pads. So like, that's a big draw, so.
Okay.
A lot of that will, you know, flesh it out, but everybody that comes out loves it, so I think it's just you know, wait and see how much money. they
Okay.
get.
Joe, I think you had a
I
comment?
don't think our intentions are to necessarily charge people to play.
Right.
I mean, I think our intentions are to hope that people will make
Yeah, I think they
donations.
will.
We would like to open the nature center up, as a, pro shop and sell discs and shirts and stuff and, you know,
Yeah.
stuff like that.
So
So,
it'd be nice to make them come in there, you know, I'm just saying.
well, so what we're gonna sell is a thing that says I'm a supporter of the,
That's great.
you know,
Joe, I think you had a comment?
Yes, I'd like to see this stay in place until we get to that point. You know, don't count the chickens before they hatch. That way we're
Right.
more cautious. When we get to that point, then we can, this isn't the 11th commandment. You know, we can always go back and change this later on. So I think that all the money that's made to a certain point, when we figure it's self-supportive, everything's where it's supposed to be, everything's fixed like it is, then we can look at deferring the money and everything else. So I'd like to see this stay in place.
Mr. Chair, may I have the floor?
Yes, go ahead, Sean. Sorry, I didn't see you over there.
Joe, no disrespect, but this is an agreement between us and the Flyers. This is a budgetary matter. I really think it should be taken out. And the reason why that is because they have as we don't have a say in their expenses, they won't have a say in our expenses. I really think that this should go underneath like a budget agenda. And fact of the matter is I really think that there should be a separate line, like a Sorensen Park disc golf fund. And those funds should be decided by Tony and the board as to where it needs to go. I really don't think this needs to be in the agreement.
Okay.
I agree.
Yeah.
I do too.
Yeah, that was kind of, when I was looking, it's like,
So,
So
do you want to
what,
make a
take
motion?
I'd like to make a motion to have number 4 under the Holly Township Parks agrees.
I think
to
it's
be
number
taken up.
6, Sean.
No, it's
No,
not.
it's
Wait,
number
I'm sorry,
4.
4.
number 4.
Okay, sorry.
I'll second that.
Do I need a vote?
Yes.
Okay, can I get a vote, Tony?
No, you wanna, okay.
Oh, if we already did the motion, we might as well do it on this one right now since everybody's here,
Well,
so.
okay, no, that's fine.
Okay.
McBride? You want a voice vote, is that what you want?
What do I need to do?
We could do all the changes at once.
Yeah, I thought we were
We
going to
could
do
do that.
at the
Okay.
bottom.
And,
Okay.
or we could do it individually,
Well,
depends on.
this one seemed to be the one that was the only one that was on.
Really
under
controversial.
Yeah,
contention
this-
at all.
You're
yeah,
right,
that's why I
yeah,
was
so
like,
maybe
let's
we
just-
should do
I
it.
would say he's already made a motion, it's already been seconded.
Yeah.
Do you want a voice vote, or do you wanna just take a vote?
Let's just take a vote.
Then you just say all in favor,
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
and then you
All-
say opposed?
Opposed? Okay, motion carries.
Okay. And then number 5, no Holly Township Park personnel will be provided to work at the tournament.
You guys are fine with that? Okay.
At their tournaments.
Right.
Obviously, at our tournament, we will.
Yeah, well, yeah, we will work on
And
it.
number 6, consult the flyers before any major changes to the course for their input. Which I think is,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's-
Seems fair.
Yeah, it's your property, but
Oh, I
I
just,
think it would be beneficial to.
yeah, I think so too, just to keep the communication open between the two groups to make sure that everybody's on board with whatever we're doing. Just to make sure we're not making anything dumb mistakes or anything like that.
Or even dangerous and don't understand why or.
Right.
Or anything. There's lots of
Okay.
Don't want to make those changes and affect Holly the turtle.
That's right.
Disc golfers love turtles, so I promise we're not.
It's gonna hurt our turtle.
We're not trying to-
Okay.
Alright, so then you would need to make a motion to accept
As amended.
The
The
changes.
agreement.
the agreement as outlined.
As amended.
As
Or,
amended.
yeah, as amended.
I'd make a
whatever you
motion
wanna
that
say
we
it.
accept the agreement as amended.
I'll second that.
Can we get a voice, do you want a voice one, or do you think we need a, let's do a
You want a
roll
voice
call.
one?
No, do a roll one.
Roll call?
Yeah, why not?
Alright. McBride,
Yes.
Meany,
Yes.
Miskovich,
Yes.
Oscar,
Yes.
Martin,
Yes.
Hutchins,
Yes.
and Rubel.
Yes.
Okay.
So now we're on B, disc golf plan.
Yep.
Who was that you, Tony?
But yeah, I submitted to you guys, Kurt had asked at the last meeting that we have a disc golf, put a disc golf plan in place for next year. I don't know, I don't know that I've submitted it to you, I don't really know that you have to take any action on it other than, you know,
Being aware of it.
being aware of
Yeah.
it, yeah.
Okay.
That was, you didn't supply any paperwork or anything like that for that? For
It's
the
under
plan?
B.
It's under B, disc golf plan.
On the thing I submitted to you guys,
Yeah.
it says,
With the
I decided to give a report on most of the items. Under old business B
Yeah,
is the plan.
right, but was there anything with that, or no?
What do you mean?
There,
Were you looking for a map or something?
Yeah, I'm not sure,
Like the 5-year plan, but
yeah, was,
I guess I'm not sure what you're looking for, Kurt.
is there something that we can review or no? For B, for the golf plan, this golf plan?
I think,
What the disc golf plan is numbers 1 through 7 underneath it.
Oh, I'm sorry. Gotcha,
Oh.
got it.
Okay.
I was-
Sorry, gotcha.
I knew I'd seen it.
Tony, so under your
I was
disc
gonna
golf
show it
plan,
to him.
on B,
Yeah.
is this the grant that you're talking about under number 1?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, is this, I really haven't gotten a chance to look at this. Is this a matching funds grant, or is this,
Well, so we're gonna talk about the grant further on.
okay,
But
Yep,
yes,
there
it
it
is a
is,
matching
okay.
funds. We would put in 25% of the grant.
okay.
So when we get to that point, I'll go through that a little clearer for you guys.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
So do you want to go over the plan then?
Do you want me to?
Yeah, why not? Just,
Alright, so, just to let you know, I've written a grant hoping to get the necessary funds to help complete the course. My plan is to continue to work with the flyers on the course. During the spring, obviously not in the winter, but, we're gonna be putting, trash cans out there, so, I think twice a week, someone's gonna have to run through and pick up the trash and make sure no repairs are needed. I think we need to set up a committee to form to sell the whole sponsorships, so that we're not, we don't want 4 people walking into the same business trying to sell a whole.
well, if we
So-
sell 4 of them.
Good luck. So I think that that's something you guys probably need to look at. We do need to find a used riding lawnmower, because there are some parts of the course that are gonna need to be mowed. We're also gonna need it for our trails and stuff too. We need to look at a plan to widen the bridge, but we've already gotten that taken. The flyers are on it. And then at some point, I'd like to see us get an ATV with the dump trailer, because it will definitely make, taking things out to the course and collecting trash and taking mulch out for around the baskets and everything a much easier thing.
And this isn't covered in your grant that you were
That
requesting?
is not covered in
Oh,
the
this
grant.
wasn't, okay,
No, the ATV is not in the grant.
okay.
I suppose I could put it in there, I just don't want to put something in that I'm afraid that they might,
Yeah.
well, they're not gonna exit out, so I don't want them to say.
It's an all or nothing.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
an all or nothing thing, so. So you try to, you plan your grant based on what their criteria is, so.
Is this going to Oakland County?
Yeah, yep.
So do we got any comments or questions for Tony on this? So I guess we can continue on to the sled races then, if there's no,
Okay.
do you want to cover that, Tony?
Sure. February 12th, starting at 1. If you're gonna work there, you need to be there by 22, probably 12:30, 12:30, 12:40 at the latest. I put together, and I'll just pass this, you can pass this down, Joe. Medals, last year we handed out medals for, participation, so I already planned the one for this year. Kathleen's gonna cut them out once I print them out and put them in the things. I ordered 24. Kathleen thinks I might need to order more. I know that we only handed out 24 last year because I have the sheets where we had them sign in and gave everyone a number, and we had 24 participants. So,
Matter of fact, you had extra because we had a citizen needed a medal because her son accidentally put it through the wash.
Right. Well, and my thinking on the increase in number, Tony, is that hopefully this event will have more participants this year.
right, so maybe I'll
because of
order
last
another
year.
24 just to have them.
Yeah.
Because you can always
Yeah.
take them
Reuse
out,
it,
pop them
right.
out, and,
Yeah.
Doesn't hurt.
whatever. So, anyway, so I just came up with a new logo, so it would be different from last year's. I would like to hand out, actually, I was saying 6 certificates, but then I found these. It's just a little trophy.
Mm-hmm.
Pat's given me 2 trophies. I'll probably use one of the 2 for
Yeah, whatever it is. Yeah.
best of show or fastest or whatever.
Yeah.
So then I guess I could give out 6 of these and 1 of those, and then I'll have one for the next year. For, fastest, most creative, most patriotic, funniest, furthest travel, best in show. I'm a firm believer that not everybody needs, we're giving everybody a participation thing.
Right.
So I think that it means a little bit more if only a certain number get a prize.
Right,
Yep.
Yep.
So,
okay.
I
Are
agree.
you, doing the certificates again this year? Those were fun.
no.
No, okay.
Well, you guys can talk about it. Here's what happened last year with the certificates, unfortunately. There was a mix-up somewhere along the line. Wrong number got put in with the wrong category. So when I'm handing out awards, I'm handing out the most patriotic to someone who's got, Kermit the Frog. Okay? It was a little embarrassing.
Gotcha, gotcha.
Plus, I don't think every sled needs an award. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
I think that, that's my personal opinion, and you guys can tell me otherwise, but
No.
I think that children need to learn, or maybe parents need to learn,
Yeah.
that,
Yeah.
you know, you get awarded for going above and beyond.
Yeah.
Right, right.
So, you know,
No,
No, I think we're good with that.
so those are my plans for sled races. I would appreciate knowing who can help me.
I'll be there.
I got 3,
I'll be there.
4, 5.
I gotta check, I might
Okay.
be able to make it.
If you can't be there, let me know. I'm gonna need, Kurt, Kurt. Sean, can I count on you to take pictures?
Yes.
Okay. Pat, you did a great job of keeping track at the finish line and speeds and stuff, you know,
Yeah.
if you don't mind.
Nope, not a problem. I like it.
So, and then
Had a
I'm
good
gonna
time.
need people to, you know, pick awards out and stuff for the ones we're doing, obviously.
Right.
What do you guys think the best, should it be best in show or should it be for the fastest? Because it is a sled race.
Fastest.
So we'll do the fastest
Yeah,
with the
yeah,
trophy.
yeah.
Okay. All right. That's where do we stand with that?
We should come up with like rules. Cause some of them had sleds under theirs and stuff, so they're gonna obviously, but you said you're not supposed to do that, right?
It's gotta
So
be
if
kind
people
of.
had sleds under theirs?
Yeah.
Yeah, there was one
I-
last year.
There was,
Oh,
yeah, there were a
there was.
couple, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Because
Gotcha.
it says
Because it's supposed to be like cardboard,
Yeah.
It
right?
Yeah.
says cardboard, no hard plastic, so if their sled is a soft plastic, it would still qualify.
Oh, you mean if it's float
So-
sleeve? Okay, so.
Yep.
Yeah.
It says no wood or hard plastic, that's the rules. Or,
Okay,
You know,
And.
and I mean, I know people who, you know, take, there were people who took, shower curtains and put them underneath so they would slide. That's not illegal,
okay.
Okay.
you know? It's if they have like a hard saucer or something
That's
under
what,
there, that'll
that's what I
be
was
illegal.
seeing.
Yeah.
So
That's
the
the
rules,
actual,
it says it on all of
person.
the advertisement that has been going out. It's
And-
been shared, between the things, it's been shared already like 300 times, so.
No makeup tape, right? Or,
No.
okay, yeah. No, I
It's
was
just
just.
too hard to do.
Right,
Yeah.
especially February, because you never know.
Yeah,
It could be
yeah.
nice. Yeah, okay.
Should
No
we
problem.
put out an invitation to all that building at the old fire hall where the food trucks are supposed to be housed, to at least have one to serve hot drinks or something? Just putting it out there.
Couldn't
They
hurt.
they want to sell it.
Right.
Yeah. It couldn't hurt.
Good.
right? Yeah.
That's what you guys would
I'm-
like.
I
Yes,
just-
we've done it.
Right.
I'm still worried about the whole virus and stuff,
Right.
you
okay.
know?
Yeah.
We already got a bunch of people gathering together to do sledding, so I don't see why a problem with the food truck would be.
No, food truck I don't have an issue with.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
As long
We
as they're
used to-
handled.
We used to have everybody come down to the nature center.
No,
Oh,
I'd
over
say,
there.
no, I think that
Yeah,
would
so I
be-
think that, okay. Does anyone know how to get a hold of someone with the food trucks?
I can bang on the door. if you
Yeah.
like.
Yeah.
That might be what I need to do.
Okay.
So you're gonna do that, Pat?
Yeah, I'll do that, and I'll get with Tony on that.
You're doing that
Yeah.
now?
Cool, thanks, Pat.
Yeah, thanks,
Yeah.
Pat, that's big.
Now, what about a porta potty? Or we're gonna use the nature center?
I'm gonna say last year we used the nature center and I didn't get a single person who went down for it and used it, so, you know, but I will try to find someone to sit in the nature center.
Yeah.
It may be Donna sits
Yeah.
in the nature center or, you know, or
I
whatever.
would try her.
So, that's what we did last year,
Okay.
yes.
We could always talk to Linda at the coffee shop too, because she has her own
Wagon there.
wagon
yeah.
for coffee and hot
Yeah.
It doesn't
chocolate.
matter to me, I mean.
Yeah, I was just, yeah, now that Donna mentioned that, that might even be better yet, because, you know, that.
If you
would be-
can't get somebody at them.
Yeah. I'll try both. See what we can do with that.
Nope. Gotta be able to go down the hill in the sled.
And
That's
get back
the-
up.
So adults,
We had adults do it last year, and the kids were faster than the adults, and had much better bait sleds.
Yes.
Except for Kathleen Martin's sled won something, and, you know.
Yeah. Rigor, no.
Were you one of those people that cheated and put a sled underneath yours?
No, I had flamingos
I
flying
checked
underneath.
hers.
I had flamingos and all kinds of decorations on mine, that's why it won.
We tried the wax and it's still, I'm finding pieces of it in the
All right,
All right.
if I made a sign to put up in front of my house, what would it say?
Cardboard sled
February 12th,
races,
1 p.m.
Sorensen Hill.
Cardboard sled race, February
Sorensen Park.
12th, 1 p.m., Sorensen Park.
Do you need somebody to send you the information, John? Would that help?
Pardon?
Would it help if we sent you an email with the information?
Well, she just told me.
Okay. I just-
Appreciate that, John. That would be
And
real
no
help
turtles
there,
will be
you know.
harmed in the sled race.
Yeah, no turtles will be harmed.
So, yeah.
What's funny is I
There'll be
almost
speed
picked a
bumps.
turtle picture for here, that someone had made this awesome turtle sled.
So I have to say cardboard.
Cardboard, it has to say cardboard.
Cardboard sign.
Yep,
No, hard.
and maybe, I don't know, if you wanna put Park's phone number, so if they have questions, that's fine.
Or the address, if somebody's not familiar.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're on the new business?
Yep.
Okay, new business, first one up is signed by Kathleen.
Oh, okay, not the same as this other page, okay. I would like to, to have the commissioners, talk about, maybe discuss, letting Tony think about buying, purchasing, what are we gonna do for the front sign? We need to update our sign.
Okay.
We can go brand new solar, we can, there's a lot of different options, but I think at the very, very least, we need to now, update people that the disc golf course is there. When we were talking about giving public notice, I think there could be some consideration there for some way to say on the new sign, disc golf course will not be available, and either list of dates or the date of the tournament coming up, something a little more informational. Of course, listing all the rest of our assets in the park as well.
So are you talking like a
You're
sign
talking
replace?
electronic sign?
I don't know. I'm just saying, a sign in general, there needs to be an updated sign considered. And I would think sooner the better for spring, because if we're gonna go ahead and get the.
I just don't know where you're gonna
disc
find
golf-
the money to pay for a digital sign.
Well, can I
Well-
make a suggestion that I think long-term, I think we need to have a proper, we need to do something with the sign, and kind of time-wise, we probably, but I think what Kathleen's suggestions on listening, could we come up with a better, let's just say, intermediate temporary sign for something with the events and everything going on?
Right, or at least
you
just
know.
now at this point, I wanted to make sure that we're researching it, because.
Well, researching for a permanent
Yeah.
thing, but I think in between time, I think if we could come up with something, like you were saying, the board listing everything, would that be something that you would,
Right.
But in the long run, I'd like to see something much more, substantial,
Expenses
that,
for a
grants or
temporary,
something.
expenses for a temporary sign, I think, would be a little too high, but I think banners would probably be the more economical way
Okay.
to start this. And then maybe during that time, I don't know if we can look into some grants for some, what do they call it, parks improvement grants to try to get some sort of fundage for the signs. But an interim sign, while it'd be ideal, I don't think it's going to be too economical at this point. Just, again, my opinion.
My intentions are once, I don't know how many of you guys saw the sign that was out there when the disc golf tournament was happening. They have
The one that hooks over.
yeah, kind of, they
I-
kind of go, it's made out of, what's it made out of?
Yeah, feather banner.
Yeah, it's a feather banner, so when we were gonna open the course, I was gonna have a feather banner that we would plant in, probably the, flower bed that's gone to seed out there, and that would say disc golf, course now open. In the meantime, I mean, I suppose we could somehow come up with boards and put them on the fence and move that other sign out of there, but I just don't know that people would read it if it was not at the angle.
Right.
So, yeah, I would see us at some point looking for, I don't know where we're gonna find a grant to purchase a
No,
sign,
that's-
that's, but maybe.
Or something we have to just plan for
Or that's
over
something,
time,
maybe we run a couple disc golf tournaments
Right.
too, but I think you're talking a lot more money than any of you are aware of.
Yeah, we need to
that's-
just find it out, so at least we
Yeah,
have
that's
a-
an idea of what it's gonna cost.
Well, Sean, talking about the banners, I don't know if it would actually meet what Kathleen was looking for. I mean, the disc one, I think we could do a banner for itself. But what about a banner I don't know, we do have a sign. I was gonna say a banner, just Sorensen Park, you know, that would be out there. That might be a little bit more out there than what we presently have, you
Well,
know.
the only problem with the banners, it's only gonna last for so long.
Couple
Well-
months with the wind.
Yeah,
So-
But they are rather affordable. The other thing that I was thinking, Tony, is perhaps, in addition to researching at least, the sign out front, of course, we're gonna have to add the icon at least
Mhm.
for a disc golf course. I don't know what that is,
It would
even
probably
is,
be the basket
the basket, or, you know, whatever
to our wood sign.
players would recognize.
Yeah.
To the wood
sometimes
sign.
have a player and a-
Yeah, so even that would be updating it to the fact that there is a course there.
Yeah.
But I was thinking also, contacting the, sign maker in town, because I know those banners that run across the road are very, very noticeable, what, right in front of Beacon and Bridge.
Right.
So could we perhaps, purchase, I think it was around $300 last I knew, some kind of signage that says disc golf course now open, or perhaps.
Well, the problem is that the village will only let you have it there for 1 week.
Right, but
So-
couldn't we do it once a month for a
No.
week?
No.
No.
It's just
No,
one,
it-
one week a
Just
year?
one.
Okay,
Oh,
Yeah,
it's that
that's
1 week
their-
a year?
That's their rules.
Yep.
Oh, okay. No, I'm just, I
Because-
never
Yeah.
knew that.
it seems
Yeah.
like I've seen.
Sometimes they leave signs longer, if they don't have anything in between,
Okay.
but their rule is 1 week.
Okay.
Are you talking about just in the location like downtown, where they hang it across the
The
road?
beacon, yeah.
Yeah.
Up there and the one by Wingelmeyer's, they have 2 of them.
Right.
Yeah.
So is it 1 week
But we could hang it
each?
in our entrance.
No.
No, just 1 week
One
total,
week.
total.
Just
Oh.
trying to.
I didn't realize it was
Trying
that
to-
short
Yeah.
either.
It might be even worth it for the 1 week, I mean, if we can get it up there
I
during
think
the
it
week.
would.
I
I
mean,
think
for
it would,
$300
especially in the
actually-
spring when it's finally completed, you know.
It might be
late
worthwhile to
spring.
look into.
And
I
I'll look
think
at
so.
other places other than, his signs are very expensive. compared to
Calypso's,
other-
yeah.
Yeah.
Other places' signs.
But
Well,
we're
perhaps,
using
but I'd
his
also like to keep them
signs for the
local.
whole, so maybe if we, you know, kind of get in there, I know the guy, I might be able to
Sweet talk.
smooth him out a little bit, you know,
Okay.
and see what we can
Oh, we
do.
can look into prices for it.
Yeah.
So I think, Kathleen, you would say though, the first thing you want to see is signage for the disc golf.
Right,
And
on
then
the
whatever
existing
else we
sign.
could do,
Yeah.
you know,
I'm just,
looking into research later
dreaming.
on.
Yeah.
Dreaming.
Eventually, we will need a new sign. It wouldn't hurt to start
Yeah.
researching
Right.
it, to
Yeah.
figure
No,
out
it
what
wouldn't
we're gonna have.
Joe?
What we're up
Right.
against.
Yeah.
One other issue we have out there with our sign that's out there now, our wooden sign is legal because it's not in the county right of way.
Right.
If you notice going back towards town, they took out that big oak tree on the neighbors. Those 2 trees that are out there belong to the county. I thought they'd at least take one of those out because they've reached their maturity. They're getting core rotted on the inside. So in the next couple of years, those trees are going toodaloo. They reached their, because they've become a hazard. So I thought last time, you know, they trimmed them up pretty good, but they're just about done. So that's when we can probably look at getting a different sign out there, as long as we stay off the right of way.
By the way.
Right.
Okay.
Can we move on then? Okay. We're gonna go on to the MRP conference, MRPA conference. That's Tony.
Right. That's the annual conference that I go to this year. It will be in Traverse City, March 6th through the 9th. Michigan Recreation and Parks Association. It's a state conference, yeah. It's a state association that we belong to. The cost for it is $450 for the conference, and then $439.80 for a 3-night stay at the Grand Traverse Resort, which is where the conference is. You know, I'm hoping to discuss programming ideas and solution for the age of the pandemic. I'm sure that's gonna be, there's over 80 things that I'll get to pick from. Obviously, I can't go to all of them because many of them are at the same time, but, I'm hoping to get some people's, some ideas on how to, provide additional programming in this current situation that we're all in. So I would once again like your permission to go.
How many years you been doing this
Conference?
conference? Yeah.
Probably 20.
Last year, was this the one that was online?
Last year was virtual.
Is there anything we need to do to allow you to go or anything?
They're approved
make
in
a
May.
motion.
Make a motion.
Yeah, make a motion.
I make a motion that we go ahead and let her go again this year.
Support.
Okay, hang on.
Take a roll.
Feeny,
Take a roll.
Yes.
Miskovich,
Yes.
Cosner,
Yes.
Martin,
Yes.
You spend
Hutchins?
money.
Yes.
Rugal,
Yes.
McBride,
Yes.
Can we move on then? Okay.
March 6th through the 9th.
We're gonna move on to the grant application. That's Tony again.
Right, so, basically, when Oakland County went for their millage, they promised the people that they would put money back into local parks as opposed to just their parks. And so, they put out a grant, proposal, which I gave you guys a copy pretty much of what I've already completed. We're gonna ask for a development grant. The minimum request is 5,000, maximum request is 100,000. What we would be asking them for is $9,300, because our match would be a 25% match, which would be, so the funding for the project is $12,625. And so our match would be $3,325, and we will be asking them for $9,300. And basically, this is to pay for the concrete, the
Signs,
signs.
the track buggy for moving.
Yeah, the track buggy for moving the concrete, we would be getting 2 of them so that we could be going to furthest holes and shortest holes. So the shortest holes would, to pay for the wood and stuff for the, the T-pads and all of that kind of stuff, as well as, getting brush hogs and with the skid steer in to do some moving around as well.
Paul, is anything that we're, hey, Paul?
Paul wouldn't know that, his name is Dave.
Oh, Dave, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
We're renaming you.
Yeah, we're
okay?
naming.
Your name is now Paul.
No, Paul.
Some of the stuff that were listed on this, is this some of the stuff that your boss was gonna supply to help?
He is gonna supply part of it.
Part of, so,
But our stuff, I think, would still come in handy too for working on.
so it's not no problem then?
No.
Okay,
No.
that's all I was just asking. I
Right.
just wanna make sure that we're still gonna be able to use it or,
Yeah,
find
right.
some, okay.
So you're allowed to apply for, or you're allowed to receive a grant from them every 3 years,
Okay,
is the way it's gonna work. As to whether we get it this year or not, I'm not real sure, because, it's gonna, they
We'll
kind
get
of
it.
set it up so that the big guys have a better advantage than the little guys. And a bunch of us already had a discussion with them about the fact that, you need to be thinking about the little parks too.
Right.
Because everything is based on a scale. You get points for certain things. So like if we paid 40%, we'd get an extra point. If we were willing to put 40% down, we'd get an extra point. I don't know that 40% is worth
how much,
Well, you're at.
while you're at it.
yeah, what's the difference
Probably.
between what we're doing now and 40%?
What's the percentage we're doing? What's the percentage we're doing now again?
25.
25. So you figure 15% more. Yeah.
It's gonna be quite a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So what you're saying is it worth the
I
extra
don't
money?
think
You
it's
know?
worth the extra
Right.
money.
Now, my question, that just said real quick, so this is right, the grant is actually coming from the Parks and Recs itself, correct? From the Park and Recreation Department, is that who's handling when you send the application, then they're the ones that are gonna be looking it over?
Yeah, but it
Okay.
will end up going in front of their county commission.
Right, but with
Yes.
their recommendation.
Right,
and
with
that-
their
okay, yeah,
recommendation, yeah.
But, what I was worried about is that it was just going into the general,
No.
and then you're kind of like, well, okay, who knows what, is gonna be,
Right.
someone's gonna look at, so.
Right.
So when they're looking at it, their questions they're gonna say, oh yeah, we've seen projects like this before,
Yes.
and, okay.
Well, and, so I went, they did a thing online and stuff, and one of the things they were talking about was the need for disc golf courses
Right,
and stuff like that, so, you can see, you know, that I very carefully word things so that I'm hitting all of their goals. that we
Right.
need to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
So, unfortunately, it's due Friday.
What-
So, I
What's
need,
what's the time frame that we would find out from them? Do you know, or is that?
yeah,
what-
hang on.
Did I miss that in here? or-
I didn't see anything. I was gonna ask the same thing.
Somewhere in here. Maybe I didn't put that. I know that they're gonna be deciding in February, and so.
Okay.
What it is we would put the money out, and then we would send them the receipts and stuff, and they'll send us our money back.
Okay, so that was gonna be my next question.
Right,
Is
right.
one of these where they
Yeah.
reimburse, so.
It's a reimbursement, yeah.
So my question would be on that, would we be hurting ourselves at all if, okay, so if they gave us the money for it, we matched it, right?
Right.
And then we came up with, and our receipts basically came up, well, we didn't spend it all, or,
Well, they would still just give us, it would still be, so
Just-
say we didn't spend it all for
Right.
whatever reason, because obviously it's an estimate.
right,
And we were $2,000 short, they're not gonna give us that $2,000.
right.
They're
But
gonna-
but it
or
won't
it's
hurt
gonna
us
be a-
anyway.
Yeah, it's not gonna hurt
Okay,
us.
that's, because
No.
I know some programs, okay, you asked for this much the last time, you only spent this much, you know, okay,
Right.
that's.
I mean, I could include in here the dump part for, moving things around on the park, if you want me to. You know, they're like $10,000.
No, I think, you know, keep it as
You know.
straight and simple as possible, I think.
My,
that's,
my,
you know.
my hopes are that they're going to recommend, because they have so much money that they're putting out, they're gonna take some big projects, but then they're gonna take a bunch of small projects.
To make it look good.
Yeah, so that they're doing it, they're hitting more parts of.
Right.
Area.
And you said we'd find out if we got this in February?
I believe it is the end of February,
End of
if not, it's the
February.
beginning of March. So, I need you guys to,
Oh,
Approve you sending it in?
yeah, basically make
Okay.
a motion that you are aware that we're gonna have to budget $3,325. Yeah, that you accept the grant as presented to you.
I make a motion that we accept the grant as presented to us and that the director submit this grant.
Support.
All in favor?
All in
No, I
favor?
thought we were
Aye.
saying.
No.
Oh,
Yeah,
you're
'cause
right,
we are
you did
spending-
need
Oh,
to
okay.
Spending money,
regulate
yeah.
everything.
Okay. Thanks, Joe.
All right. Miskovich,
Yes.
Pastor,
yes.
Martin,
Yes.
Hutchins,
Yes.
Grugo,
Yes.
McBride,
Yes.
Cheney.
Yes.
Okay.
Tony,
Yeah.
under describe the community need for the project, there's a typo. It says hosed instead of hosted, just so you know.
Where? I'm sorry.
Under-
What page are you on?
Oh, it's flooding.
Hang on, I gotta find it. Mine's mixed up now, so.
It's,
Under which one?
describe the community need for the project.
The second page.
Okay. And where's the typo? I'm sorry.
The part hosed.
I hope not.
I'm really bad because I did read that and
Hell.
didn't realize.
Yeah.
I didn't too, I read
I
it.
just like right by it, didn't think of anything of it. It's like,
Oh.
okay.
Oh,
Thank you.
Tony, there was
Oh,
another
we
one
gotta
that I
make everybody
noticed.
happy,
It's in the
right?
describe the project design and why it was chosen.
Okay.
The last line, the Shiawassee River and the Blue Pine, it needs an E on there.
Oh. I found it too.
Oh,
I
good
found
point,
it too.
Which one's it under?
Describe the project design and why it was chosen.
Okay, hang on a second there.
It's the very first page.
Well, I don't, mine aren't in order anymore, that's.
Uh-huh.
It's the very last line on that section.
All right, I will have you show it to me after, oh, wait. Why it was chosen, okay.
Oh, I see, yeah.
Yeah,
there's,
you're right.
there's also another typo or something.
Look and feel.
Where?
Back under the describe the community needs a project. It's about, that's the third line down near the end, community expressing a W desire for the.
Yeah, I did see that one too.
Yeah, I already got that one.
Okay.
Okay, that was it.
Sorry, it probably wasn't
Yep, I already found that one.
necessary.
Okay.
Yeah.
But thank you.
You're welcome. On to E, workshop budget for February.
No, you forgot D.
Oh, did I? Oh, D, computer, I'm sorry.
Maybe you should speak a little about this.
What was that?
Maybe you should speak a little about, after you and Tony discussed it,
I'm sorry.
the computer, maybe you should speak a little.
Oh,
about
okay.
it.
When did I come visit you? Like last Wednesday?
Mhm.
Last Wednesday, Tony, computer broke down. So I went over there to see if I could do anything to help her out, but the way it looked like the hard drive was dead. Kind of hard to replace the hard drive, plus her computer's, you said it was 8 years old. It's
Something like that.
definitely, yeah, it's definitely past its prime and needs to be replaced at this point. So Tony's done some research. I'll let you talk about what you've looked into, Tony.
Okay. Well, so to easily run all the programs and stuff that we run, it would need to be like at least 8 gigabytes of memory. I'd like, and 512 gigabytes of SSD, which is solid state drive. What happens to a lot of the hard drives on other computers is it's just, basically it's a circle spinning, and that gets off kilter or whatever from moving it around and stuff, and you end up burning your hard drive up. The solid states, when they originally came out, they got really hot, but now they've perfected that. I looked at a bunch of places. To get something of good quality in that range, it's somewhere between $900 and $1,200 for, depending on whether it's on sale or not, for a good laptop. The reason I'd like to replace the laptop is, when I go to the beach to supervise, I often take my laptop and sit there and work on things. When I go to my conferences, I take my laptop because then I can check emails and stuff and work on things if there's something that comes up that I need to take care of. Anyways, so.
You need a motion for approval for you to spend up to
Yeah.
$1,200?
Yep.
Okay, make the motion that we give the director authority to spend up to $1,200 on the laptop, would say,
Yep.
on a laptop computer.
I'll second that.
Roll call.
Pastor,
Yes.
Martin,
Yes.
Hudson,
Yes,
Rugel,
Yes.
McBride,
Yes.
Amy,
Yes.
and Miskovic.
Yes.
Right.
And it's all yours.
And we'll go to the correct E now, workshop budget February. This is to have a meeting in lieu of the meeting that we're supposed to have in February and work on the workshop budget instead, since we weren't gonna have one in February. I don't
We
know
did
if
it
I s-
last year. We had a workshop where we discussed the budget, so that you came into your March meeting already with pretty much your budget figured out,
Right.
for the year. So, the question, so I think what you're at, if it's okay.
Yeah, no,
What
it's
you're
fine,
asking
yes.
Basically is, if it's okay with everybody to, have a workshop on, what is it, February
9th.
9th, to, work on your budget.
we're at.
We did not reserve this room for that time, so I
Right.
would say we probably would just go ahead and do it out at the nature center.
Yeah,
Is that gonna cause us any problems or anything like that?
No,
Okay.
just post it.
Okay.
question, I mean, not to be a pessimist here, but if things are kind of going the way they are with the recent variant and that here, would we do something like this virtually if we had to?
We could, you could.
I mean, I just say put it out there, just
Right.
if we're all in agreement that if it does come down to that, you
Yeah, I
know,
think if it, we.
you know,
if it
that
has
would be,
to-
That would be an
okay.
option.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that'd be an- okay.
Yeah, I mean, I would still like to do it personally.
No, I would
Right, I
too,
would
no,
too.
I absolutely, but,
Just
you
It's a
know,
lot
simply because
easier.
whoever talks
Quicker.
first gets the mic,
right.
Right.
you know what I'm saying, so
Yep.
it's hard to.
Since this is a workshop, is there any way we can make it a bit earlier?
Sure, we can.
Like at 6 o'clock or something.
5:30?
5:30 is, or 5, one. I hate
5 would be
half hour- I
great.
hate half hours. It's,
Uh,
it's,
Is anybody, I'm about the only one that shall be coming out. I would have no problems. Really, basically with me, if I know ahead of time anything after 4:30, takes me about 40 minutes to get back from work, so, you know.
Can I get a motion then to hit the workshop meeting February 9th at 5 o'clock?
I'll make a motion to have the budget workshop meeting at 5 o'clock on February 9th.
We
At
could look at
Sorensen.
changing, next July, changing our meetings to an earlier time too.
Oh, that would be great.
In the future.
That'd be good with me. We can talk, we can address that
Yeah.
again, I think.
I'll second Sean's motion.
Can I get, what's it, votes?
You would just
You can do it. Lois.
All in favor?
voice vote.
Voice vote, please.
So you'd say all in favor?
Oh, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
You know,
You'll get there.
Yeah, I'll get there. Just not used to all this.
You gotta say all opposed.
Oh, all opposed?
Get rid of it.
Passes. Can we go on to F then? Beach lifeguards and beach hours?
Right, we said we were gonna, this year, discuss once again what you guys wanted to do as far as, lifeguards and stuff at the beach. I gave you, at the first, there's a typo, it should be according, but it should say, we have a severe drop-off, period, according to the CDC, and I gave you stats on drownings, in the US and in the world, and, you know, there's also non-fatal submersion injuries and, my opinion is, if you wanna go with no lifeguards, there are some, considerations, which is, you know, could save us a considerable amount of money. But if you did that, I think you should only go with the shallow end. You'd put buoys out on the shallow end, you wouldn't put rafts out. You'd put swim at your own risk. If we did that, we would need to hire someone probably to open and close the beach, plus stop by once a day to, you know, check on things. If you think you need someone there all the time, then, you know, I don't think you're gonna want one person sitting there by themselves. So if you're going to 2 people, you might as well just go to lifeguards. The lifeguarded option, you know, we would have the distinction of being one of the only lifeguarded beaches in our area. We are providing employment for the youth. You know, guard purposes to prevent drownings and accidents. It would provide parents with some security. We do have a severe drop-off located in our swimming area. The staff does provide maintenance on an hourly basis out there. And then I gave you quotes as to how much it would be, another $6,000 if you wanted to be open longer, 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. Would cost us approximately $6,000 more.
And the hours right now are
Noon to 8. I don't see having some hours where you don't have a lifeguard and some hours where you do, simply because who's gonna keep, so right now we have a rule that says 10-year-olds, you have to be 10 to come to the beach by yourself. 10's the arbitrary number that we pretty much decided on a long time ago as someone being mature enough to make smart decisions for themselves. To go to our deep end, you have to pass a swim test if you're under the age of 18. If you're open some hours without a lifeguard, what prevents that 6-year-old from going to the beach who's not been allowed to go out to the rafts because the guards say he's not a strong enough swimmer, to going out to the rafts? That's my concern with having hours without lifeguards. So, I think you guys need to figure out, do you still want to have lifeguards? Do you want to change your hours? You know, our insurance company doesn't care one way or the other. They don't charge us more for having lifeguards or less for having lifeguards. We just have to have proper signage one way or the other. So.
If you don't mind, can I have the floor there, Kurt?
Yes, go ahead, Sean.
Last year, honestly, when I came into this gig here, and I'm probably going to take some heat for saying this, but that's okay. I came in here, absolutely I didn't want lifeguards. And then I talked with Tony, and she says something to me that really struck a nerve with me. I think about it all year long. It's crazy, especially when I think about this lifeguard things. I asked Tony, I says, how many kids did the lifeguards save, over the last few years? And she gave me some numbers, and I don't remember those. But what I do remember her saying was, it's not about the lives you save, it's about the lives you don't have to. And that's really struck a nerve with me. And I think she's absolutely right. I think having the lifeguards is something that makes us stand out. I know there's some residents in the area that don't care for the lifeguards. And I'm okay with that because I think the safety of our kids takes precedent over whether you're angry or not. And if you think about it too, the last 2 years we haven't charged because of COVID. I really think that we should go back to charging. And if we're going to have someone at the gate collecting money anyway or checking in key tags, and we're already going to be paying, why not it be a lifeguard? And so that's all I wanted to say on the matter. I appreciate you giving me the floor, Kurt.
Donna?
I go along with what Sean says. One life, what is one life worth? And we are the only one in the area, and there are a lot of kids in that neighborhood who would take total advantage of the fact that there was nobody there, and I personally it would just break my heart to see somebody go out there and drown because of that. And if we have to have, now that with the lifeguards we had this year, they also cleaned the bathrooms and took care of the sanitation part, which is right now a big thing.
Yeah.
I just think the money is so totally worth having a lifeguard than to take the chance of losing a child or an adult. And if you bring everything in, you don't have a dock, you don't have people watching, we're just asking for trouble.
Do you need anything from us on this one, or is
Yeah,
this
you guys have to make the decision.
right now?
Well, I would say pretty soon, because I
Okay.
have to start, hiring staff or not hiring staff.
Okay,
Well, and then the other thing that we need to consider, I guess, is beach hours,
Right.
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 Before we make any decisions on the rest of this. I think in the past, my understanding is that a few residents would like to see it open earlier and later.
Well, the problem with later, I'll tell you, 4th of July, we stay open until probably 9, we close about 8:30, 8:45 because it gets dark.
Right.
Lifeguards can't see the water anymore.
Right, there's no light.
It's not that it's dark outside, it's the way the sun
Right.
falls because that's an east-facing lake, so the sun's behind us, So opening later, I don't really see as much of an
I
option,
think it's chilly.
But, and I agree that it's chilly in the morning as well.
It is.
I think most people don't get up and around and moving until 11 or noon to go to a beach. I don't see many people, clamoring at the doors at 8 a.m. It's just too cold still. It's just not worth it.
Now, you go out to Seven Lakes swimming in the morning, how many people are out there?
Oh, me and about 3 other people.
But what time do you go?
I try to be out there between 8 and 9 o'clock.
Okay.
But that's
But there's no kids, there's no families.
not until close to noon.
Yeah.
There's probably 4 of us old people out there, and that's about it.
Right. So, I think our current hours are good.
I think
I do too.
maybe if someone has an issue with that, we could open it up for like a day, a week, maybe have an early open. If someone mentions it, then can't we change it then?
Do we get a lot of complaints of us? I've
It's not-
heard,
there's only a couple people.
okay,
Same people,
Yeah.
same people.
different
Okay.
day, yeah.
Just
Yeah,
the
Joe,
little
I'm
ones
sorry.
that we
Tony did a time study last year on participation at the beach, and I think it stands for itself. She did a very good time study on that when people came, how much staffing she needed, so she readjusted that so it's more economically feasible.
Okay.
So I think her time study speaks for itself.
What did it say?
Basically, the majority of people don't come to the beach before 1 p.m. So we used to have 3 lifeguards on staff from 12 to 5. Now we have them from 1 to 6.
Right,
Okay.
that makes sense.
You know, and have just the 2 people at the 12 o'clock hour.
No, when do we open up the beach with the lifeguards then? What date? I'm sorry.
When school gets out.
The day
We
after.
open and close with the Holly area schools.
The day after school gets out.
When's that? I'm
You know,
not-
I don't know this year.
Usually
Okay.
Right
June
around the
14th.
12th of June, something like that.
Yeah,
12th, 13th,
June.
yeah.
Right in there,
And we
yeah.
usually, we close when school goes back in session. So I think if I don't know if this year they're gonna go back before Labor Day, I think
I
they
think that's
are. I
the-
don't know
yeah.
if they've actually established their thing
I don't
yet, but,
No.
think so either, but we did last year.
so.
The other concern that I would have if there were no lifeguards would be sanitation. Who would do, we'd have to hire
You'd have to hire someone to go in
Somebody
once or twice, yeah.
at least once or twice, depending on the mandates current
Right.
to,
Yeah.
Michigan. So it does make sense to me not to have lifeguards.
And then we also have to check people for glass and alcohol, because a lot of people bring in coolers, and if our lifeguards check those.
Right.
So,
Okay.
there you are.
Okay. So what, do we get recommendations then? Do we stick with what we were doing?
I'd like to make a motion.
Okay.
I'd like to make a motion to let it stand as it was last year. What was that, noon to 5, noon to 8? Yeah.
December and August, we close
Right.
at 6 on Monday through Thursday.
Yep, and lifeguards.
And I also would like to add to the motion that we do charge again this year. I think it's an important source of
I
revenue
think that should
for us.
maybe be the second motion.
Yeah,
Oh,
that should be
sorry.
a just motion by itself.
Okay.
I'm just saying, you know,
Do I have a second?
I second that.
Can I get a voice or do we, what would we do
sure,
roll on this?
probably voice would be a bad crowd.
Okay.
Coster,
Yes.
Martin,
Yes.
Hutchins,
Yes?
Rugel,
Yes.
McBride,
Yes.
Beanie,
No.
and Miskovich.
Yes.
What were the hours again?
12 to 8, June and July, August is I think 12 to 6, Monday through Thursday.
Yeah.
Because the beach dies in August, it really does.
Everyone's on vacation.
I think it's everybody's taking final vacation.
Yep.
It's
Everybody's out,
amazing.
everybody's out of town.
All right, so then now I think you need to talk about charging at the beach. So the last 2 years, you've made it free. The last time we charged it was $5 for one person, $10 for 3 people, and $15 for up to 5 people. And they made it so that it used to be your tag was specific to you. The way they made it was you could bring any 3 people, or well, any group of 5 with that one tag, any group of 3 with the other tag, and then the other tag could just be traded person to person for them to come in. That's how they had done it, tried it the year before. So,
How did that work out?
I mean, it took our revenues down because, we weren't charging what we had been charging, but people were happier with it. It's a lot less hassle for the staff because what we used to do is do a spot check. So, Joe may walk in one day and we say, can we see your tag and what's your name? What's your phone number, whatever.
What's your address? Yeah.
So, and you can't make it free for Holly Township residents and charge other people because we've taken federal money in there. You can charge them more. But I think you can charge them double what you charge residents. But it's up to you guys. I don't know how you guys want to do it.
Any recommendations, any comments? Joe?
I'd like to go back to the lesser of 2 evils, in the charging. The last one that worked out pretty good because we still got COVID. And if you watch the nightly news tonight, gas went up 50%. We were in inflation. It's tougher now than it was back in 2020.
Mm-hmm.
But still, we got to look at our bottom line too.
Right.
Yeah.
It isn't getting any easier. So I think with the availability of the tag distribution, the way it worked before, Tony was happy with it. We got some revenue. We weren't hogs, because government takes everything from the people. We're still giving people something back for their taxes. So that's my recommendation.
Okay. Is there any others?
Actually, I second Joe's.
Okay. If there's no other, okay. Can we get a roll call on that then?
Sure.
Oh, what exactly was your recommendation?
To stay at the 5 for one person, 10 for 3 people.
Yeah.
15
Okay.
For 5.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And do
Okay.
we have the tags
And they
to
don't
cover
have to be
that?
the same.
Well, what we're gonna do is come up with different colors,
Okay.
or rotate the colors. I haven't decided what I'm gonna do yet.
Or paint 'em
So
again.
what I'm doing is I'm gonna do, what I did last time is I took past tags and we dumped them,
And dumped them in, yeah.
and then we sold them, so that it,
So we should be covered for tags?
I have lots of extra tags, I
Okay.
just have to figure out how I'm gonna do it, so. Alright, so Martin,
Yes.
Hutchins,
Yes.
Grugo,
Yes.
McBride,
Yes.
Feeny,
Yes.
Miskovich,
Yes.
and Coster.
Yes.
Last thing we have is the audit approval.
Yep, so someone would make a motion to just accept the audit as given, as presented by the auditors.
I'd like to make a motion to accept the audit as proposed to us tonight.
Support.
Can we get a roll call?
Sure. Hutchins,
Yes.
Grugo,
Yes.
McBride,
Yes.
Feeny,
Yes.
Miskovich,
Yes.
Coster,
Yes.
and Martin.
Yes.
Public comment. Members of the public can address the board once recognized by the chairperson. Comments are limited to maximum of 4 minutes. The board may extend this time by an additional 4 minutes by a majority vote. Prior to addressing the board, members of the public shall clearly state their name and address for the record. Hi, John.
Let me, address.
200 South Saginaw?
That's it. This Lakeside Park, I've talked to the village and argued with them about this, but I want to see a sign that the beach is open and everybody can go on Saginaw. And they say, oh man, that's not our park, you know. No, it needs to be directed to them. This is what we'd like to have done, because those people are in the township, and it's all one big happy family that everybody can go. And that would up the activity and the enjoyment. So, yeah, I think we can, anyway, try dealing with it. I'd like to see some canoeing be available at the park. And have a canoe, and you got lifeguards, and, you know, you can say, well, if you can't go on it, you're a 10-year-old. But a canoe that would be available so people can go out and use it. I've rented the canoes and gone out, and it's been fortunate because they'll pick it up. Wherever you go, even. The state park has this golf place. What is that? How does that compare to what we have? Do people use that, or what's?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they use a lot.
So what's the advantage of this one versus that?
I'd say this one, that one was made, you know, almost 20 years ago.
Yeah.
You know,
So
so
it's
I'd say
obsolete?
the golf has evolved. So ours would be, this one, that one only has one set of tees, so it doesn't have, it's not catered, doesn't cater to all levels of golf. That course is one set of tees, so some holes are for a professional level player, and another hole might be for a starting player. So this one has 2 tees, longer holes, but, you know, more, and a more beautiful property, to be honest.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It's much more,
Do they need to upgrade
Yeah.
theirs, or what should they be doing? Should they upgrade theirs or what?
Yeah, they have a little bit, you know, we had a plan to, do a bunch of changes to that one to upgrade it to like, to the golf now, you know, cause honestly, more people are golfing to where way better, like golf has got better, you know, so like,
Okay, I understand.
yeah. Yeah. That's something that we'll design out right away, bumps everything.
So they have this money they're throwing around for, they think they can do something to upgrade this theirs. state.
Oh, are they? I don't know.
It's
I'm
coming
not
out of the
aware.
sky now.
Is it? I don't know, I've not, everything I've been involved with this stuff so far has been, you know, a lot of,
Well, she's going to the big meeting,
it's just hopefully getting a grant.
I mean, up in, where are they going?
Travis,
Yeah. Can you talk to some people that are up there about upgrading the one over there?
I can tell them that people have approached me about it. I don't really have any control.
That's not our.
Unless they wanna hire me and then you guys, yeah.
You know, there's people that love that place.
Yeah.
I don't think it needs to be necessarily too much, I think it's still play there, it's for every day.
You can't even get in there on Wednesdays. It's so
Yeah.
packed.
Great, yeah. And
So, what are the final hours of the swimming?
12 to 8.
12 to 8.
That's what it's gonna be?
Yeah, there's a big sign down there that has the hours.
Yeah. But this sign, and even if we could put some signage up at the park, so that they know what's happening there. That's all I have.
Thanks,
Thank
John.
you.
John.
Any other public comment?
thank you guys.
You're welcome.
That's all.
Thank you.
We don't want any board comments?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Can we have any board comments? Sean?
Yeah, normally I wouldn't address it directly, but Bush Lake, that's Bush Lake, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's a sports lake. You put a kid out in a canoe,
Yeah.
yeah, I foresee a jet ski accident or a boat. Wow, it's a great idea, and I would love to see kayaks myself. I don't know if Bush Lake, unless they turn it into a no-wake lake, would be the proper
People
place
do
for that.
kayaking canoe there, but they do it at different hours.
Hours, yeah.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't, you know.
And they use the boat launch.
Yeah.
And then the last thing I want to say is,
No, actually.
we're still members of the Chamber of Commerce, even though I don't think we've really been acknowledged by the Chamber thus far. I really think that the Chamber should be a little more involved with us when we open up this disc golf park. They do grand openings for everyone else,
They'll do one for us.
so I really think we need to get on the ball with that. And I just want to thank you guys for coming out and putting up with us again, and I want to wish every one of you guys a happy new year, and that's it. Thank you.
Donna?
Yeah, I would just like to say thank you for all your volunteer work. You guys are awesome. If you need help during your tournament, just give me a call. That way I can learn a little bit more about what's going on. Happy New Year's, everybody. It's
Thank
great to
you.
see everybody healthy, and let's just stay that way.
Okay, Patrick?
Do you guys give lessons at all?
Sean does.
I think I'd be
Sean's
dangerous out
really
there.
good.
Want to thank you guys for the effort that put in. Want to thank you guys for the effort you guys have put in, and looking forward to working with you in the future. And everybody stay healthy.
Absolutely.
Courtney?
No, thank you guys. You guys have worked, I can't even believe the things that you guys have gotten done so fast. It's incredible. And thank you guys for the awesome meeting. It seemed to flow a little better this time. And it didn't seem like there's so much negativity going on, and I appreciate it. Thanks.
Thank you. Kathleen?
I just want to echo and say thank you guys. I'm so excited for what's to come. Again, like Donna, hit us up if you need volunteers. I'm more than happy to help if I'm available. But again, thank you very much. I think you've made a great improvement on the park that wouldn't be possible without your help. Thank you.
Joe?
Thank you, guys. And if you need some chainsaw work, I can give classes on chainsaw maintenance.
Just bought a brand new one.
Yeah, okay, yeah. And I'm working on other equipment. I got the tractor down right now for hydraulic leaks on the bucket. Parts are sitting up in Flushing, so I'm gonna get that back together here by the end of the month. I got a lawnmower, a good size 18-horse lawnmower for trail mowing. I gotta go through yet. to take care of that. And I also have a Township Beaches has a set of discs that aren't adjustable, and I'm gonna make them adjustable. So you can go down through your paths and kind of help tear up the roots and stuff. So that's my other winter project. But other than that, I thank you guys again, and if you need chainsaw maintenance, I can give quick lessons when you guys, I'll be out there the first time you guys go out this year, so if you have to use your chainsaws, we can evaluate them. Yeah, and I appreciate, yeah. So I appreciate you guys for all that. Thank you, board, for a nice New Year's coming up, and we're all moving in the direction. So that's good. Thank you.
Sean had another thing he'd like to say.
Yeah, just real quick, Tony, this packet that you put together this month was absolutely phenomenal, and I just wanted to thank you for that as well. I mean, so well organized and so well thought out. I thank you very much.
I would, actually, I'll wait, thank you.
Joe, you're finished?
Yeah.
Go ahead, Tony,
Well,
if
you
you want to say.
have one?
No, go ahead. I'll let
Okay.
you go.
I would just like to see, in the future, if, like I did, where I put together, and, it did take me some time, but I think it makes the meeting go a little smoother, because then you guys can be prepared. So if you're gonna put things on the agenda, maybe you can do a little thing like I did, a little cap about what you're gonna be talking about, so that everybody is prepared for that too. I love these guys, they're like my favorite Hollyites. Sorry all of you that think you are.
Thanks.
No,
No, I'm
no,
copying
they both
her.
live in Holly Township, and they work their butts off there, and I just wanted them to know how much we all appreciate them, especially. And, Joe and I just went up to, Mount Morris?
Flushing.
Flushing, to drop off parts for the, tractor, so it won't be leaking, hydraulic fluid anymore.
That'd be good.
The dealer
So-
couldn't fix it.
Yeah, the deal, they don't sell some part.
Yeah.
I don't even wanna, I don't know, is it a bladder, is that what it is?
No, it was part of the cylinder rod.
Anyways, so Joe knew some guys that are going to actually go through and they'll create one for us if we need it.
Oh, that's good.
So,
Thank you, Joe.
it's good that Joe knows so many people, because we get things done. And I wanna thank all of you guys, because, without you, the board wouldn't exist and stuff. So, the sad news though is that I no longer have any senior aides at the nature center. And I may have one starting mid-February again, I'm hoping. He didn't qualify because his wife had worked too long. So he's supposedly mid-February will qualify, so hopefully he'll come out. Do you know any seniors that are low income that would, like to work like 19 hours a week and get paid? I think they only get minimum wage, but they get paid by another agency to work for us. So if you guys know anyone, please give them, my phone number or whatever, and we will hopefully get some more people in there.
Tony, if there's any slack that needs picked up, let me know.
Okay.
Okay.
If you guys ever want us to come, we'll come anytime soon, just ask.
Yeah, we gotta have a training meeting.
We're
A
gonna
training
have a-
workshop.
we're gonna have,
I
We
wanna
got
do it.
boxes and boxes of this.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, all right.
Thank you.
So I just want to wrap it up and say everything seemed to work pretty well except for me. Hopefully I start learning a little bit better. I do want to thank you guys. You guys done a wonderful job. Really appreciate it. And whatever we can do to help you guys out, let us know. So everybody, Happy New Year. Glad to see everybody's all healthy and everything. And we'll adjourn it then, I guess. I guess I got to do this, right?
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
I can't tell right now.
Wait.
8:59.
8:59. Yep.
Oh, man.